Hey everybody, I'm Smiley with DeRosa Group and DeRosa Living. So, as some of you may know, I moved from asset management with DeRosa Group to running the property management side of our company when we brought all of our communities under in-house management. One of the questions that I get asked a lot, whether it's online or at events, is like, hey, I really like what you're doing. How do I get into property management? Honestly, I've never met anybody in this field right now who was one of those classical, like, I decided I was going to be a property manager when I grew up. When you hear little kids talk about what they're going to be, like, I'm going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. Property manager is usually not in that top 10 or top 50 list. And so I think most everyone that I have ever met in this field kind of fell into it. That was definitely my situation. My background was in social work and law enforcement. And as life evolves and changes, you're like, okay, well, I'm looking for something new or something different or something that fits the needs of myself, my family. And for me, that was a part-time weekends option leasing position. And so I think the majority of people that are in this field come from very, very kind of similar situations. It wasn't their original path, but it very quickly became the one that they stuck with. I think the benefit of that is that it brings an incredibly diverse background of both education, knowledge, and experience to the property management field. So step number one, how do I get into property management? You just start. There are a ton of ways to just start into the profession of property management. First and foremost, knowing that the property management field is a profession and an industry that is 100% relationship based. It is about networking, meeting people that you can learn from. So start by meeting people. One of the neat things about this industry is that honestly, everybody that you meet knows somebody that's in this industry. And so you're going to meet and sit next to somebody getting your pedicure, and they're going to be like, yeah, I've got a cousin that's in property management. Everybody that you meet honestly knows somebody that's in property management. So use those relationships, maximize the potential for those introductions to get into the field. There are amazing companies that are out there that are offering internship programs, not just for college students, but for anybody that is interested in this field. One of the things that our field and industry learned, no different than so many others, was that during COVID, where we suffered was in staffing, no different than a ton of other industries that are out there, have really put intentional efforts into growing the depth of our benches for our existing staff as well as our potential incoming. There are also temp staff hiring companies who only hire for multifamily property management. There are 3 or 4 just national level ones and then a ton of regional ones. So explore what those options are. And a great source for information as well as access points for that is build up your LinkedIn profile and really start experimenting and playing around on there to see who you know, who you can connect with, and what some of those companies are. And then take action, reach out. You are going to need to determine where you have your interest in property management. So when someone says, how do I get into property management? I will often ask, well, what side are you interested in? Front of the house or back of the house? So front of the house is more client facing and more resident facing. From a very specific site level, you're thinking property manager, assistant manager, leasing. Back of the house tends to be more operational logistics and maintenance of the asset, the community itself. If you have electrical or HVAC experience and you want to do something new, come on over. We definitely want to. In fact, give me your contact information personally. So start out as a maintenance tech. The growth potential in this industry is huge. As we all know, primary, secondary, and tertiary markets are in desperate need of development and new housing offerings to meet the demands of the amount of people that are living in those markets. As long as that continues, multifamily property management aspect and drive for staffing is going to continue to grow. There's no lack of opportunity in property management, okay? Once you get your foot in the door, the best advice I have for you is be a sponge. Absorb every bit of information you can. Be constantly looking to improve your level game in the position that you're at, plus the next level up. So if you start out in a leasing spot the way that I did, you should constantly have your eye on the prize of what do I need to do to get to a property manager spot? And then from there, what do I need to get to a regional spot? And then from there, what do I need to get to a portfolio level? And up and up and up. Even if you don't want to progress into the titles themselves, progress into the knowledge base, it will do nothing but enhance your own personal professional growth. It enhances the operations of the company, the asset that you're working for, that client that you're working for, and honestly, it will enhance the lives of the people who work for you. From there, take trainings. Please don't ever get complacent in terms of a training. Your local apartment association is a fantastic way to continue to level up your growth in this field. They're also a fantastic resource if you're just looking to get into property management. They can set you up with various contact points. They usually have job hiring boards on their websites. They offer trainings and classes. They offer networking events. So come out, come meet us. We'll be more than happy to talk to you about this field that we love and we show up for every day, okay? Join the online platforms. It can help you get into property management. It can help you level up your game within property management. Facebook has a ton of groups that are out there, both to kind of commiserate and talk about the highs and lows, the roses and the thorns. You will have fantastic stories. I promise you that when you get into this field, you will probably have the best stories at your family's holiday party. One caveat, they may not always be the most appropriate for every viewing audience member. Okay, so that's just a little disclaimer. However, they will be entertaining and you will never be at a loss for fun and exciting vignettes and just stories to share. So get involved on Facebook, get involved on LinkedIn. Also pay attention to some of the property-specific websites that are out there. I personally am a huge fan of Multifamily Insiders, but between all of these platforms, there are thousands of years of experience. Take what works for you, just like an a la carte menu, and use it to build your ability to enter the field and then explode your growth. From there, my best advice is figure out what you like. I really like training, or I really like marketing, or I really like logistics, client relationship, the maintenance, deferred maintenance or preferred maintenance program planning. Once you get into the base of our field, the potential options for you to decide what avenue of specialization that you want to go into are endless. And again, like I said, as this field continues to grow, evolve, adapt to the changing needs of our resident base, those options are going to continue to grow. So I hope that I've given you a little bit of excitement. I hope that I've given you a little bit to work with and run with to expand your professional opportunities. Remember, at the end of the day, if your question is, hey, how do I get into property management? The answer is just start. The other answer is that if this is something that you really are interested in, the resources that are out there are endless, you guys. If you are sitting here watching this video and you're like, I like this, I like the quick little tips and tricks, by all means, we have as a company a ton more of these for you to learn from our mistakes, learn from our successes. What I would tell you to do, honestly, is check out DeRosa Group on Facebook. Join our insiders group. Check out the website, it's DeRosaGroup.com. If you are interested in having DeRosa Living, which is our property management arm that I run, integrate with one of your assets that you own, then check us out there too. There's a link on the DeRosa Group website. There's a ton of ways to find us, no different than there are a ton of ways to get into this field and have a blast. Hope this works for you guys. Thanks so much.